What's going on, everybody? Slick Nick here. It's been a while since I've done a video, especially on a live stream, and I'm wishing everybody out there a happy Valentine's Day. It is about 2:34 p.m. Sunday, February 14th. Be sure to check out the description box below for links and other referral codes and other useful information tips in the gig industry, mainly Rideshare. But anyways, this stream I'm doing, I planned to do this a couple weeks ago, but I'm finally able to do it. So here's what's going on. About 2 weeks ago, when I was out driving on Lyft, I had an encounter on a ride request. So what happened was, first of all, you know that Lyft and Uber are basically for transportation. Well, Uber also has food deliveries from Uber Eats, but anyway, they are not a U-Haul service or a delivery service for items, especially at these times with COVID. So anyways, what happened was in the afternoon, I was out driving. I got a request to pick up somebody. This was over in the Encino district of Los Angeles. And then apparently the account holder actually had a key that he needed. So he requested the trip and for me to go over and pick up the item from someone. And I had told the lady that brought the item out, that that's not what Lyft is for. But apparently I should have mentioned too, was that due to COVID regulations. So I did mention it is against the terms of service because Lyft is not to be used to transport items. She should have driven the item herself, or Dan could have, that was the account holder's name, was under the name of Dan. But anyway, this Dan could have either driven over there to pick up the item himself. And you know what could happen if you take an item, they can try to ding it on us or something like, oh, we didn't get this. So I don't like to deliver items because I don't want to be responsible. But Instacart or Postmates or Uber Eats is a different story because those are food deliveries being held by the professionals, and Instacart, everything's all arranged ahead of time. So anyways, what happened was, yes, I was wearing a mask, and apparently when I immediately after I canceled the ride, you have the option to choose either someone in the front seat or no face covering. This is on Lyft, and then this way it'll cancel, automatically give you the fee, and then it also will not hurt your acceptance rate. That's also a useful tool to use if somebody is trying to violate the terms and conditions, like unaccompanied minors or young children without a car seat, for example. So instead of having to wait 5 to cancel, collect, and move on, this is a way to do it. But just don't be abusing it. But anytime you do it, always make sure you make a report to Uber or Lyft, whichever platform it happened on. Whereas in this case, it happened on Lyft. So what I did was, after I did that, canceled, collected, I went down the street a little bit, and I also made a report to Lyft. I immediately reported it to Lyft, so they were sorry to hear about this and looking into it. And then all of a sudden, they informed me that they received a report from the passenger that I was not wearing a mask, which was bogus. And apparently the account holder himself, assuming Dan was a guy and not the woman that was trying to give me the key to deliver it, he obviously was not there. So Lyft obviously don't care who makes the report, says, oh, he wasn't wearing a mask. But first of all, how would he know? He wasn't there. And apparently it's all lies because they're just trying to get their money back. They obviously don't read the fine print or even think of common sense. You waste our time, we're going to waste your money. And the rideshare platforms really should put something in there that says that all sales are final. There's no refunds without compelling reason or something. Well, anyway, so what I did was, after I got that word, I reviewed my dash cam footage from my camera. But apparently from the camera, they looked at it, but they didn't accept it as evidence because of the time that was showing on the camera, because it doesn't show the time it happened. So what I did was, when I got home later, I put the footage on my computer, and after reviewing it, of course the time was like 2 minutes ahead. If it's 1 or 2 minutes off, no problem. So anyways, that's not what was showing up on the camera when I showed when I took pictures of it with my phone. But what I did instead was did off the computer, which was more detailed. So then after that, I took pictures of the images showing me wearing a mask when I was confronted with the person that wanted me to deliver the item, which is a key. And of course, delivering, as I mentioned, it's not recommended, especially with for COVID precautions. But food deliveries with like Postmates, Uber Eats, or shopping items at the store on Instacart, those are usually handled by professionals, so that's a different story. So what I did was, after I got the footage on the computer, I also used this program. Let's see what the name of it is. It's this free program if you're going to send dash cam footage by email, because usually, well, in the Lyft app, they only accept up to 5 megabytes. Whereas in the email, you can send something up to 25 megabytes. So there is a program which you can use. You can trim your footage ahead of time and then put the footage in there that you need, and you can actually have it compress the footage, the size. It'll look like, if it's HD, you can have it converted like to 480p, to show enough detail and enough sound with the dialogue so they can hear what happened. So anyways, I'm looking for that application that I used. Handbrake. So yeah, there's this it's a free program. It's called Handbrake. I know it's on Mac OS, Windows, I'm not sure, but anyways, I'll look for it online and then I'll put it in the description box below. It's a free program and it's very useful for anybody making demo reels. If they have to post a demo reel and they have to shrink the file size, for example, it's very handy for that. So anyway, I used the program. After trimming the clip with the evidence of the incident, then I immediately put it in there, and then I was able to compress it into a lower resolution. It still had enough detail and the sound was still legible. And then after I did that, I emailed it to Lyft. I sent an email to Lyft through my web browser. After I get the automated response from Lyft, I go ahead and attach the file. It was less than 25 megabytes. It wasn't that much, but it was small enough to where I could actually send it to them. And then I reached out to Lyft through the app. And then when I got a rep on the line, and they told me that I didn't follow the health guidelines because I wasn't, for not wearing a mask. And then I told them that was a lie. And then I sent them pictures from my dash cam. I sent them stills by simply just taking pictures. So I did was I took the pictures with my phone off my computer screen, and I sent them the footage, the clips, the image, anyway, I sent them the stills from the dash cam footage. And then I indicated that I just emailed it to them and explained to them everything. I even indicated that the clock is 2 minutes on the time on the dash cam is like 2 minutes fast, but I've already fixed that. So very important. You should always check your clock on your dash cam from time to time to get it as close as possible to the time so it doesn't go way off. So, and then I sent that to them. I sent it all, and I even told them that the video clip even has the dialogue so they can hear the dialogue of the discussion we had. And I even admitted what I probably could have done. Because I forgot to mention COVID. It didn't dawn on me to mention that due to COVID precautions of delivering items. So after that, it actually I was proven innocent, and then Lyft went ahead and took the strike off my account. So that was the way I got that resolved. They saw that I was telling the truth, and then I think they took the appropriate action on the account user for making a fraudulent report, and then I definitely won't be paired with them ever again. So here's hoping that they actually got dinged, and hopefully they'll get banned from the platform if they do that shit again. So I did. So that's how I did it. I basically just, so when you have that's good to have a dash cam and make sure the clock is as accurate, as close as possible to the time. If it's off by a minute, it's one thing, but that video footage that I submitted to them, it also had the sound of the cancel sound on Lyft when I cancel the ride, where it makes the sound through the app. it played that sound, so at least that helped Lyft. So like, and then when they compare with when it was, because it said it was at, so the minute time was like 38 after the hour, whereas it was 36 after the hour when I arrived, and then 37 when I canceled, whereas 39 on the footage. So that, thanks to that program, Handbrake, that program allowing me to compress the footage helps save my ass. And those pictures too that I took from my dash cam footage to show them that during the encounter I was wearing a mask, indeed. So that's why you gotta have a dash cam and keep the clock, always check that clock. And always back up your footage too onto external hard drive or something. I back mine up to a hard drive, external hard drive. Let's see, I'll grab it right here. So you can get like this, I got this lacy USB, just a USB 3 drive, and I got it from Apple's website. You could, even a Seagate would work fine. This one's a 5 terabytes. So that's all you really need. You can get something like that, your footage, like keep it for at least maybe 3 months at the minimum before you determine if you want to delete. And if you have any incidents or accidents or anything, keep that footage up to 2 years before deciding if you want to delete it or whatever. Make sure you check to see the capacity of memory cards that your dash cam can take. Because I got a lot of 64s because other dash cams I had only took up to 64. The one I have can take 480 gig, but I have a 256 gigabyte. But sometimes one of the flaws with this dash cam I have, Blueskysea, is sometimes I guess it's overriding at the wrong time. Even though I delete footage that I don't need, which doesn't have passengers, to help clear up space, but it doesn't make sense to overwrite until there's nothing left. And it should overwrite with the oldest footage. I don't know, but that's why I sometimes will delete the more recent footage, like from a few days ago, as I get closer to free up space. That seems to work. So that was basically what happened this last 2 weeks ago on Sunday, when I had a confrontation with for a Lyft ride, which was to deliver an item to somebody, potentially the account holder, and which apparently Lyft and Uber are not used for, customers can't use it to have us deliver stuff. We're only delivering passengers. If they came along, it's one thing, but we are not a U-Haul service. They should use like Uber Freight or something. There's other services out there that could probably do those things, but using Lyft and Uber, the Rider app, is not an option. And and all you drivers that do that, please stop doing it. We got to break people's habits. Otherwise, they're going to keep counting on us to do it. And many of us don't want to be responsible for the items, especially right now with COVID. We don't know where it's been. We don't know how it's been handled. It's a lot different than food deliveries where the professionals handle it. Yeah. So I was glad to get that resolved. And also, what else is going on? I'm also renting another car with hire car. I've been renting for this. I just completed getting my second week over with. I'm renting a 2007 Toyota Prius. It was the first week I got it for $20 a day, because that was the originally the other one I was going to rent was a 2008 by the same owner, and it was the 2008 Prius. The high voltage batteries failed, so they had to get a new battery system and get it all tested. But he had a 2007 Prius available, which still runs, has a backup camera, has over 200,000 miles, and they gave it to first week. He gave it to me for $20 a day, but then it defaulted to the $29 a day this past week. So this week I'm going to clarify to see which deal I can get, whether it's going to be the $20 or the $29 before I extend it another week. But by extending it a week, I can get a discount too, like a week-long discount. Hire cars, you can get discounts like for a week or a month if you choose a weekly rental or a monthly rental deal. The 2007 Prius, though, it's not as spacious as like a 2015. Like the driver's seat, the seat does not anchor up, does not elevate up or down. So I kind of have to slouch it down just a little bit so I'm not sitting up as high, and the steering wheel doesn't come out very far, and I have to have the seat back all the way. Whereas in 2015 or newer Prius, I don't need to. But the car still runs great. It has, for 2007, it's got a backup camera, and I can still get over 50 miles to the gallon. It does have some sensors that are faulty, though. Just needs a few new sensors, has a little cosmetic wear. But other than that, the car runs great. It does the job, which is what's important. It's doing the job. And this last week on Lyft has been so busy. Got lots of streak bonuses, and I even had a ride challenge to get X amount of rides, and then earned $91, another one $41. Basically, I made an extra $132, so it basically covers my rental costs. And streak bonuses have been getting me up early to drive. But I'm taking today, Valentine's Day, off from driving. I've driven enough this week. I've achieved my goal. Actually went beyond the goal. So I'm going to take it easy later today. I'm going to be spending dinner time with my girl. She'll be coming over in about an hour or so. So just thought I'd do this vlog to see do something while I'm waiting. Let's see, what time are we on right now? So we got one person in the house. So right now we're almost to 17 minutes. Be sure to smash that thumbs up in there. Get this word out, get the video out. Be sure to tell others about how to deal with these incidents where a passenger wants to deliver an item, and make sure you're masked up and also have a dash camera. Make sure your clock is accurate too. So this way, if you get a false report, you can prove to Uber or Lyft, whichever platform it happened on, to show that you are innocent. And then this way, the account holder is the one that's going to get dinged. That's right. They, as Dustin would say, they deserve Smackovich. Or how about they deserve a throw 'em in the dumpster. Or throw 'em in the garbage can. Or take them and flush them down the toilet. Just like Rideshare Professor Torsten will take the toilet and go, flush. Wish I had one of those little things. Almost up to 18 minutes. Okay. So yeah, basically that's the main reason I came on, was just to tell about the incident that happened 2 weeks ago when a passenger retaliated because I wouldn't deliver an item to him. So I was able to prove my innocence and how I handled it. Problem solved. But these last couple of weeks, I've had very few sour passengers. Everybody's been pretty good. And my rating did take a dive, and it just came right back up again, which is good. Went to the 4.81 was the lowest to hit, and now it's back up to like 4.95. But the unfair ratings was nothing I had control over. It was basically one passenger I had did something very dangerous with a pickup. Where she requested the ride, there was nowhere to park, and you could park on the side of the road during certain hours, but there was no place to park, and she was expecting me to stop in the middle of an active lane of traffic. And that's not okay. And drivers, you should know better not to stop in the middle of a roadway to pick a passenger up, because otherwise they take advantage of that and it makes us complain. Drivers look bad, and they're going to expect us to break the law for them. And she also wanted me to do a U-turn in the middle of the road, and it was not in a residential area. It was on a busy street. And U-turns like that are prohibited. You got to do it at an intersection or where there's a driveway, unless a sign prohibits it. So she probably may have given me a low rating, but I got her back with a low rating and explained to Lyft what happened, and they went ahead and excluded that rating. And I also got couple other low ones for apparently no reason. Well, there was another one where I had a passenger where she actually approached the vehicle, walked into the, well, there was a little area in front of the driveway which I could have pulled into. This way I don't block any oncoming traffic. Thankfully, there was nobody coming, but I even told her for next time she needs to stay on the sidewalk. Passengers should know better that they are not allowed to approach a vehicle or touch the door handle until we are positioned properly and not blocking traffic. I wish Uber and Lyft, they obviously don't seem to care about that. Well, they don't care unless you say something. So they need to learn to put it in their terms of service or make passengers acknowledge that on how to properly be picked up, like where to wait. If only they would start doing that, telling passengers and then making sure they acknowledge before a ride request goes through, then maybe this will help combat these bad habits. And also help these other drivers become more compliant, because I hate having to look like the bad guy when I'm just being compliant with the law. Everybody has to respect the law. Riders have to respect the law, and even us drivers have to respect the law. Nobody has to like them, but apparently they're there for a reason. So those are like a couple of those. A couple bad apples I had these past couple weeks after that incident. But other than that, most of my rides have been pretty good. Well, except for getting all these long distance pickup requests because there's nobody around. But apparently every 2 weeks, I guess with the earnings guarantee that we get from Lyft, probably why I get a little extra, because I don't meet the guarantee. Because the guarantee, they exclude the tips and the bonuses. That's what it appears. I'm still learning it, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know the tips are excluded. Let's see, we got 2 people here in the house. Come on, everybody, feel free to give us shout-outs. Let me know you stopped by. We're on 22 minutes right now. So anyone that just joined in, basically I went over about an incident that happened a couple weeks ago because of a passenger. Well, apparently I don't think he was there. He actually requested to have one of us deliver a key, and somebody brought the key out to me, is what he was trying to do. But apparently that's not what Uber and Lyft is for. We're not a U-Haul service, and also I wouldn't want to be responsible for the item in case something goes wrong or they claim, oh, they took this item. And also with COVID going on, I'd rather be safe and not take any items right now. And and this rider, he could have actually went over to the place and get the item himself, or the individual could have delivered it herself, or even look for an app that actually does delivery service or something. But using Rideshare like Lyft, regular UberX is not an option. Food deliveries are a different thing when ordering through an app, because they're handled by the professionals for us. And same with Instacart when we do grocery shopping. The items are stocked by the professionals, and then we just pick them up. Apparently that's not what happened in this situation. So I basically canceled the ride, choosing not wearing a face covering, because this way I don't have to wait 5 minutes. And then the passenger, or the account holder, made a false report that I wasn't wearing a mask, and he wasn't even there. Hey, what? Jean-Marc, go on. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for joining in. So basically, I'm just talking about an incident that happened 2 Sundays. This was 2 weeks ago, January 31st. And apparently after I made the report to about the passenger or the account holder, what they wanted me to do, which was against terms of service. And apparently they claimed I wasn't wearing a mask, even though they weren't even there. And I have dash cam footage to prove it. And so when I got home, and then I took pictures of the images from my dash cam, and then I compressed the video footage with this program called Handbrake. It's a free program. I know they have it on Mac, maybe on Windows, I'm not sure, but I'll be sure to put a link in the description box below, where you can also compress the footage to a smaller file. This way I could email it to Lyft by email. And then that worked. Then Lyft went ahead and took the strike for not following the safety precautions, like for not wearing a mask. They went ahead and removed that strike because they see that I was wearing a mask. And then it looks like that account holder got dinged. You know, they played a stupid game. They want a stupid prize, and they didn't think of the fact, what if that driver has a dash cam? Well, they rolled the dice, and apparently they lost. That's why it's very recommended to have those dash cams. Okay, we're coming up to 25 minutes. Almost 3 o'clock. My girlfriend's going to be coming over in about an hour or so. We're going to be spending Valentine's together. We're going to be picking up some dinner from BJ's, but we're just going to have it here at my place because it's too windy outside. Otherwise, we do the outdoor dining, but too much wind, especially cold wind. It's 3 o'clock now, so anyways, I'm going to be wrapping it up shortly. You know, for those of you that dropped in, I do thank you for dropping by. It's great to see you. And Dewan Marquis, sorry I can't pronounce your name, but anyways, thank you for popping in. And okay, we're coming 26 minutes now. Got a thumbs up. Thank you for that. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here. So that's basically what it was, just about the incident that happened 2 weeks ago. I finally was able to have a chance to explain what happened, and then also caught up a little bit on what's been going on in the rideshare industry. But also the last couple of weeks, I've only been doing Lyft and not Instacart, because I usually do both, but because Lyft had so many bonuses, and also I'm trying to get more hours, so this way I get enough engaged time, which is when you have a passenger in the vehicle. So this way I can earn the highest healthcare subsidy at the end of the quarter. That only applies if you're here in California. So we'll see how that, we'll see how that works probably around April, which will be the beginning of the new quarter. We'll see how this healthcare subsidy, we'll see how the payout works and how, so, and if I find anything, when I see how that works, I understand it, I'll probably do another video on that too. But anyways, okay, it's 27. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you for watching. Always be safe. Use common sense. Always take precautions. Keep those face coverings handy, especially when you're driving and when you have passengers. Make sure you wash those hands, sanitize those hands. Frequently spray your seats down too in your carpet. I just use like alcohol sanitizer spray, but if you have leather seats, you got to use something else. All right, thank you for watching. As always, drive safe. Be safe. Have a great Valentine's Day.